Good morning, everyone. I'm just going to do a quick update on the bike. Nothing much so far in terms of upgrades, but there is some development in exactly kind of what I'm going to do. I'm also going to do a 1 year, probably exactly 1 year, 2,000 mile review on the Honda Grom. And as you can see, I use this bike extensively. The weather's getting much nicer now, so it's been a really cold season so far. But now I'll be able to use the bike pretty much almost every day to commute to work, which is about a 4 or 5 mile one-way trip. Um, you know, Small part on the highway where just kind of get off and on or on and off, but nothing too bad. Um, in terms of kind of what I've done so far, and I'll just turn this off because it'll be easier to hear me. Uh, Nothing much. Obviously, I changed the mirrors because the antennas are pretty annoying. They don't look very cool either. Um, so I did. What the hell is this? I did down the bike. I slow sided the bike once, but luckily it was on the non-muffler side. So I finally got around to replacing the lens. So now, really, the only damage that you can see is basically these scratch marks on the right blinker, or sorry, the left blinker. So that's about it in terms of damage. Just a small scuff, like right there, but that's not even noticeable unless you really, really look at it. So yeah, also replay. Also got this cool Honda keychain. I got it after I realized that I couldn't trade in the Grom for something bigger, given where I'm at the moment, unfortunately. So I'm going to definitely go the upgrade route. And yeah, so let's talk about the plan. So originally the plan was to get the man in the box air filter to replace the stock air filter, but it's been a month already and they have not shipped it. And I actually think there's a better option. And I found this off of East Codish, uh, his YouTube channel. Basically, TST Industries through Works. I'm not sure if they're like an affiliate company or whatever, but they've designed a bypass to the stock air filter. So right now the stock air filter is right there and it kind of loops around right here and gets air from behind the actual front of the bike. So their solution is to actually replace all of this right here, this right here, this air box right here, the front stock air box, and just put like fins in the front to increase the airflow. And supposedly that's supposed to be just as good as the direct ram air intakes like Chimera and Man in the Box. East Coast mentioned, I asked him like if he's gonna do a dyno, see what the difference is, and he is going to do it sometime next week, which kind of coincides with like my vacation anyway. So I want to wait after he does it to see. I think I will go with that option. And the other benefit of that is that when you remove the air box for the Chimera and the Man in the Box, it you also have to remove like the supporting structure for this flaring or for this fairing right here. And supposedly, once you remove that, this just gets more floppy than it is right now, and that's kind of a no go for me. I don't want the fairing to like kind of flop around in heavy wind or anything like that. So that's kind of the update at the moment. Definitely going with the Yoshi exhaust. I just need. I think in Amazon there is some, but I need to check the seller to make sure that they're kind of legit and just not like selling, copies of the Yoshi, cheap copies of the Yoshi. And but it is very difficult to get parts at the moment. So those are really the two parts I'm going to get. Uh, the Works, and it's actually because it's just a piece of plastic, it's actually cheaper than the Chimera and the Manda box. So it's the Chimera and the Manda box is about what around 180 shipped, and then this one is like 80. I'm not sure what was shipping, probably 90. So it's about half the price, but it's literally just a piece of plastic. You could probably ask, like, why don't you just kind of Dremel out the original airbox, put put fins in the front. And the reason why I don't want to do that is number one, it's just it's $90, and okay, it's not, and obviously this is a budget build because I'm not going to full like air full craziness in the beginning, um, to get this bike faster to 70. So the goal, I think, for all Grom owners is 70 max. Actually, I mean, as fast as humanly possible. But I think the realistic goal for all Grom owners is 70 max, 60 cruise, right? This does 60 max of 50 cruise. So, it's going to be almost a 20% power increase to do that. And it has to be obviously at the right RPM power band too, right? Because you could have a lot of low end power, but you're going to really hit those top speeds at the higher RPMs. And that's where, picking out the right mods and the right looking at the dyno results or dyno changes on those mods are important. So you can, I don't really need load and power. I mean, this thing takes off from the line pretty decently. I mean, most cars can not, and I don't think I can. I think, and that's another thing too. Okay, so I went to this dealership and I told the guy, I had a problem with the battery, and or which I thought was maybe even the stator or the charger or the bike, and they took a look at it and they said that it's probably the battery, not the charger, because the mechanics actually looked at it and said it is charging, the stator or whatever it is charging. But I also had a chance to talk to him afterwards. I'm like, hey, this is a new guy. I haven't spoken to this dealership or this place, this shop, not shop, but this dealership yet. The mechanics there yet. But what I want to do with the Grom, and he's like, so I don't think he's correct on this. I'm like, yeah, I was planning to do these two upgrades, and he's like, no, you don't really need to do that. He's like, why don't you just drop like two in the back or three in the back, and then like go drop one in the front. And I'm like, I don't know about that. I don't think that's right because power is power, right? So even if you drop the gearing or you lower the gearing to a lower or a shorter gear, like if it doesn't have enough power to get you to those speeds, right, 70, it's just never gonna get there. It's just kind of like top out in the rev limiter. It's not gonna hit the rev limiter or anything like that. So I don't think that is correct. Um, the original place I went to before they closed and merged with this place, the mechanic was like, or the repair shop or mechanics there were like, yeah, you gotta get more power first and then tune it, and then you can think about gearing changes. So I think that's actually right because you need the actual power to get to 70, right? Even if you change the gearing so that it will go to 70, like right now it's struggling at 60, so I don't think it actually will get to 70 because it struggles to get to 60. Um, yeah, I mean, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe so. There's like two opinions. They're like completely different. The first guy that I spoke to at the first shop was like power before gearing, and the other now this guy was like gearing first, and he mentioned gearing first because he's I think he's in the mindset like don't reduce the longevity of the engine by doing power mods, right? When you can actually just change the gearing and get there. I think that's his mindset. It's like, it's a reliable, super reliable bike. Don't make it less reliable when you can just change the gearing and get to your speed that you want to. But I don't think that's right. I just don't think this will go to 70 if I change the gearing. That's my opinion. But anyway, so that's an update on the Grom and what I'm going to do. So I'm trying. I mean, I'm gonna get my refund for the Banda Box AirIntake, which I never got. I'm waiting for East Coatish and East Coatish. link to his website on the Works Airflow Inbox Dyno results. I might actually just buy it beforehand because I feel like once he releases those, like it's gonna get out of stock. I don't know. I just at this point I just need to get the parts. It's, it's still the beginning of the season, but I want to have kind of like quote unquote a brand new bike for the season, right? And yeah, so I'll talk about my review of the bike, 1 year review of the bike. I think I was one of the first ones to get it last year, and I think I put probably more miles than most people have put on this bike. And I'll just kind of review what my thoughts on the bike are so far. Um, need to do an oil change, which I'm gonna try like a full synthetic Honda oil this time and see if that kind of smooths out things a little bit. Now, obviously, need to adjust the chain. That's really also another thing I need to upgrade. I need to get like what's those thing called, like chain adjusters, easy chain adjusters. Because my lord, this is so annoying to have to adjust the chain like almost every single oil change. Uh, I mean, you have to do it, but I literally jack up. I have to use like a car jack to jack up the bike. It's just annoying. If it's something easier where I can just easily, you know, change or adjust the chain every single day, maybe, and it'll just be so much easier. But then that's not a high priority at the moment. It's just an encumbering. The first priority is obviously the air intake, ECU flash, exhaust, ECU flash, and then get an expert opinion. I'll probably go to uh, an actual dyno shop or tuning shop to get it assessed and see if they think I should. I mean, why am I saying that? Of course, they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, you should tune it because they make money off tuning it." But obviously, I'll need to get a racing ACU at that point to tune it. Um, or when I get the racing ECU, maybe there's a map for it already. I'm pretty sure there's a like a direct ram air intake Yoshi map at this elevation where I'm at, Wisconsin. So anyway, that's the update on the plan of what I'm going to do, and I'll come out with a review later.